In this video of TYBA Compulsory English, we are going to learn about one more important component of communication. Today we are going to discuss, or today we are going to learn about some essential parameters or tips in order to make our communication effective. Dear students, you are familiar with the terminology communication. We know that communication is a continuous process, communication is flexible process, communication is two-way process. In communication process, participants communicate their ideas, their thoughts, their opinions, their views, feelings, emotions, information or knowledge. So number of activities or number of things or number of elements can be transmitted through the communication process. So it is essential for the communicators to learn how he can or she can make his communication effective. Communication is a process, and being a process, this process is disturbed by some of unwanted elements, and these elements are referred as barriers to communication. So the first important tip for making effective communication is that the participant should try to overcome barriers which stands in the communication process. The first barrier in the communication process can be mentioned as physical barrier. So physical barrier refers to the distance between the speaker and the listener, or it refers to the distance between the sender and the receiver of the message. So if there is a wall between the sender and the receiver, the communication becomes difficult. If the distance is far between the sender and the receiver, the communication becomes impossible. Then noise, then some environmental situations, they also stand as barrier in communication process. Then other barriers can be referred as psychological barriers. So psychological barriers refers to the barriers where the participants deliberately do not listen to the source or the sender of the message. So psychological barrier is the thing which distracts the listener or the receiver of the message from the content or the message. Then next barrier can be referred as a status barrier. So status barrier arises when a person thinks that he is superior than the other one. So he is not going to listen whatever the message or whatever the information he or she intend to pass. So status stand as a barrier in a communication process. Then there can be physiological barrier. There can be some problems at the time of production of sounds. There can be some problems at the time of reception of sounds. So in order to make effective communication, in order to keep communication process continuous, both the receiver and the listener, both the receivers and the sender should try to overcome these obstacles which stand in the way of communication process. Besides overcoming these barriers, there are other things which are important in communication process. First, I would like to mention here clarity. So clarity is important principle or important thing or important tip in order to make a communication effective. So clarity refers to use of clear ideas. Clarity refers to the use of clear thoughts. Clarity refers to the use of appropriate words. So the sender should use appropriate word. Sender should use word considering the educational, cultural and social background of the listener or the receiver. He should also consider the age and sex of the receiver. Then there will be the proper selection of word. So words should be appropriate, words should be selected properly considering the nature of the recipient and considering the nature of the message. So message should be short, message should be clearly worded, message should be simple, and it should be easy to understand. The sender should avoid equivocal word or vague words. So vague words should be avoided, or the words which gives two meanings should be avoided in oral communication or in written communication. In verbal communication, multiple meaning or vagueness of the word creates barrier in a communication process. So there should be clarity as far as the selection of words is concerned. Vague, multiple meaning words or equivocal words should be avoided. Besides this, the sender should try to avoid jargons, or we can say slangs. He should avoid jargons, slangs, and technical terms. So unfamiliar words, strange words, words related to certain technique or profession should be avoided in a communication so that there can be clear understanding of the message. We know that the process of the message ends when receiver understands the message properly, receiver understands the message as the sender intends to deliver it. So these things are important in communication process. Then the second important aspect, or we may say the second tip of to make the communication process effective, is that the sender should try to avoid grammatical mistakes. He should try to avoid spelling mistakes. In verbal communication, grammatical mistakes or wrong pronunciation of the word or the incorrect spelling of the word may create misunderstanding, and misunderstanding leads towards the failure of communication. So there should be use of appropriate structure, the appropriate syntax should be there, syntactic rules should be followed. Speaker or the sender should try to avoid the grammatical mistakes, and he should try to write down the word correct in correct way as far as the verbal communication is concerned. Then after that, proper encoding of the message is also important. In order to send the message, the encoding should be proper. We know that the process of encoding takes place at the sender's ends. So encoding refers to the sending ideas or the message or the thoughts by using particular symbol or signals. So whatever the message the sender or the writer want to convey or want to pass, he selects appropriate content from that message. Not whole of the message is sent, but appropriate selection is there. So proper encoding should be there. It means that the sender should know what he has to send, what his message should contain, what should be the subject of the message. So proper encoding will lead to proper decoding of the message. So decoding of the message is related to the receiver. So receiver will be able to decode the message when it is properly encoded by the sender. Next, one more, I would like to add one more thing in the tip of effective communication is that, so communication should be goal oriented. It means that the sender should not digress. Sender should not go away from the goal of his content or the message. He should not wander here and there. His message should be directed in a proper way. If it is misdirected or it is not goal oriented, then it will be less effective. It is not going to give appropriate feedback, and it may lead into a misunderstanding, and the receiver will be not able to interpret or understand the message in clear way. So it should be goal oriented, it should be related to the topic, it should be related to the subject. The next one is that effective listening is also important. In order to be a good communicator, in order to be a good speaker, in order to be able to understand the message properly, the sender's message should be grasped thoroughly by the receiver. So proper listening should be there. There should not be fake listening, there should be attentive listening. So listener should try to get the message. Listener should be careful at the time of listening. If he fails to pay attention toward the words, toward the message, toward the contents, he will be not able to understand the message, and the process of communication will fail here. So in order to make a process of communication, there should be active listening, there should not be fake listening, there should be, listener should be attentive all the time, and he should focus on the words of the speaker. After that, to make communication effective, in communication there should be the use of non-verbal codes. Non-verbal codes refers to the use of postures, gestures, facial expressions, and a body language. So non-verbal communication comprises the things like facial expressions, gestures, use of body, eye contact. So these things should be used appropriately in oral communication, because along with words, if we use the body language, the listener or the receiver of the message will be able to come at the proper conclusion. He will understand message in much better way just by following or observing the body language of the sender of the message. After that, in oral communication, the sender should try to use appropriate stress, intonation, pitch, and tone in the message. So his intonation pattern, falling rising tone, stress, pitch, loudness, all these things are going to make the conversation interesting. All these things are going to make conversation interactive, and it will help the sender to retain the interest of the listener. So modulation in voice, modulation in speech is important activity in oral communication, because it makes our communication more meaningful and more effective. Then writer, sender, or the source of the message also should try to follow some principles of communication, like timeliness. The sender should send the message at a proper time. There should not be delay and there should not be haste as far as the delivery of the message is concerned. The timeliness is important. If the message is delivered in a hurry, it will make a less impact. If the message is delayed, it is going to make no impact at all. So there should be timeliness. Then for the message, in order to make the effective communication, one should be courteous. One should follow 7 C's of communication. There should be clarity, there should be consistency, and there should be courtesy. The message should be worded in polite language. Message should be worded in a courteous language. It is going to make more impact. It is going to make more effect on the listener. So all these things are important in communication process. One should try to follow these tips in order to make communication successful activity, and this will add dimension to the communication process, and communication process will become interesting and the participants will take part in communication activity willingly.